What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit.
Gang, gang, this is serious.
Wow! What the fuck? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Kevin 2 turn back again with another YouTube video. Hey man, say man, your boy Liddy. Your boy put out that motherfucking heat for y'all young niggas, man. Y'all kings and queens on this YouTube channel, man. I appreciate all y'all support y'all niggas been giving a nigga, man. Your boy been going dummy. And say no more, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe these videos up, man. Keep on supporting young niggas, because I'm going to keep on pumping these videos out for y'all young niggas, man. I appreciate y'all niggas on this motherfucker, man. Yesterday we watched two videos. Today we finna watch two videos. We finna watch NBA player reaction to Nets getting eliminated by Bucks in Game 7, Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go. This finna be funny.
Are you not entertained? Ooh, what a game. This game is easily one of the best games of the season, if not the game of the year, and we can confidently conclude that this is the NBA's first do-or-die game to go
I thought the Nets gonna win the whole thing, bruh.
15 years, ladies and gentlemen, and it all came down to a matter of inches. You can hear the screams and shouts from the Buck fans, and understandably so, because they fought hard for 54 minutes. And boy, did they deserve the win in the end.
Hell no, I still think the Nets should have won that.
If you want to win a PS5 with NBA 2K21 and Madden NFL 21,
turn up.
Leave a like, comment, subscribe,
hope you have a
and
litty
turn on
ass day, man. We
notifications
get this
to
shit
enter the
started, man.
giveaway.
Stop with God.
Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and of course Kevin Durant were the stars here to pull off the greatest matchup in this year's series and send the Nets home. Before the game, the Brooklyn Nets served NBA fans one of the best playoff games anyone has seen this season, which of course was essentially a one-man show led by Kevin Durant, who gave us another reminder of why he is easily one of the best players in the league by a mile. It was a legendary performance that will go down in his own history books because of the way he single-handedly carried the whole team on the back of his shoulders.
I wasn't planning on playing every minute, but as the game started to flow, we got down. I told Coach that, if you need to take me out for a couple, it's cool, but I feel good, and he just let me ride it out. So, Jeff Green was incredible tonight. James coming out here and thugging it out for us.
Bro, that was a good-ass match, though, bro.
Being another ball handler for us. I mean, I just think the second half
was really hard.
The Nets were able to collect an obvious win from the Milwaukee Bucks in Game 5, and then the Milwaukee Bucks came back with a revenge plot they took to effect during Game 6.
Everybody got hurt
to Game 7. Everyone knew that the Bucks versus the Nets was going to be a tough battle. And to be honest, both teams in turn fooled their fans with the expectation that they would put an end to the series before it reached Game 7.
I can't, bro. They did all this hard-ass, good-ass
it was the
shots
Bucks who were the visitors
just
that
to
came
end
out
off
on
losing.
top, as they withstood an epic performance and a game-tying shot at the end of regulation time by who else? KD. The man who has been the Nets' go-to man for the last 3 games. But despite all KD's brilliance, the Bucks still went on to win 115-111 in overtime. It's fair to say that the matchup between the Nets and Bucks was one series that everyone had circled into their plans, believing it was going to be an amazing watch. And even though there had been some close games between the two, it hadn't quite lived up to the hype, and that's largely due to the injuries suffered by Kyrie Irving and James Harden. And then Game 7 came along, and it finally lived up to the hype. There's an old cliche that the 2 best words in sports are Game 7, but it doesn't always play out that way. In fact, if we go back in time and through the history books, especially through the last decade, there have only been 14 of the 34 Game 7s that were decided by 10 points or less. The reason for this is typically down to a combination of fatigue and nerves, which end up turning the contest into a boring, sloppy contest. And if the home team can jump in front early, then the match will end up in a blowout. On each side of both teams, there were big-time performances so much that many NBA stars couldn't help but tweet about the match. Thad Young, who plays for Chicago Bulls as a small forward, tweeted, "This game is unreal right now."
Head ass.
Phoenix Suns shooting guard and point guard couldn't also help contain his excitement, tweeting, "This is the game of the year." Tristan Thompson is another player who's watching the game.
That ain't gonna cap.
What a Game 7. Fire emoji?
Tristan
Fire
Thompson,
emoji.
your old ass with
Portland
Kardashian and
Trailblazers'
shit.
Robert Covington was clearly impressed with the match when he tweeted, "This Game 7 given everyone exactly what we was hoping for. Competitive, great basketball." Adam Schefter, Tom Haberstroh, and Michael Wilbon are other stars that were tweeting about the match, but it was Tom who appeared to have enjoyed the game
One
the
of the
most,
two dramatic
sharing
member
their
games
thoughts
in
about the
history
game in a
throwing
tweet
a
that
ball
said,
at a
"That was an
basketball."
NBA Finals in the
That
second
was
round.
NBA
Masterful
second master
performances
performance.
all around. Wish everyone was healthy."
I
but
was
that's
mad,
2020,
bro, that the
21.
fucking
This game was just the 7th
Nets
Game
lost,
7 in
man.
NBA history to go overtime, and the first time since 2006 when the San Antonio Spurs were beaten by the Dallas Mavericks. The match was that kind of game and performance from both teams that everyone pretends to play out in their driveway while growing up, coupled with some questionable refereeing decisions, dramatic last-second shots, and overtime. If Kevin Durant was the Nets' Superman, then Giannis was Batman, finishing the game
Damn.
with 40 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists in his 50 minutes of action to carry his team to the finish line as most of his supporting cast struggled shooting for large stretches of the game. Giannis was sublime, aggressive, and the Greek Freak kept attacking the rim late, not showing any fear about heading to the free throw line. Giannis was unstoppable around
If
the
Ben
rim,
Simmons
as
was
he
like
has
that,
been
shit
at
ain't
any
gonna be
point
getting
this
traded right
season,
now.
despite continually taking off-balance shots and
Damn,
playing through
man.
foul trouble. No one was stopping the 26-year-old
Trash-ass
from
Nets.
picking apart the Nets' defense in the paint. Taking on the defense on his own, Giannis continued to draw the defenses toward him, which helped create more space for some reliable three-point shooters in his team to find their shots. Giannis looked tired near the end of the third quarter and asked for a breather that would see him last only 33 seconds as the Nets took that 5-point lead. He returned immediately and restored parity, giving the Bucks the breath they needed. It was an amazing victory for the away team, especially when you consider how much of a mixed
Damn,
journey
bruh.
it's been for both the Milwaukee Bucks and for Giannis. From wasting what was a golden opportunity in Game 1, to bobbling through the most awful performance any team has had in these playoffs in Game 2, to delivering an even worse offensive showing
Kyrie
in Game
Irving,
3,
you fucking
and blowing
duck.
a 17-point
That's
lead,
sad,
to
bruh.
then failing to capitalize on an injury
Kyrie
plagued
Irving,
team in
James
Game
Harden.
5. But they eventually sent the Brooklyn
All
Nets
them
packing
niggas got
in
injured,
Game
bro.
7.
LaMarcus
Even though
Aldridge,
it hasn't
that nigga
happened
didn't
for
get
the
to play to
Milwaukee
get
Bucks
injured,
or
bro.
Giannis the
Bruh.
way they envisioned it, they are in the conference finals and one step away from the NBA finals. After going 18 years between appearances in the Eastern Conference, the Bucks are back for the second time in 3 years.
You know, we really wanted this as a team, and there was like a lot of ups and downs within the series. There was a lot of ups and downs in this game. You know, we could finish the game.
His voice don't
and,
match his body. Ain't gonna cap.
Before the overtime, you know, and wasn't able to, but we kept our composure, and that's what I'm talking about. That I almost got emotional because everybody fought extremely hard. You know, the guys that was out there in the floor, they gave everything. You know, they defend hard, they ran plays
Man,
hard.
the
you
team
know,
was
so-
solid, but
So
damn,
we really
bro.
wanted this.
Giannis,
Nets had
the
a better
two-time
team,
MVP
man.
winner, has been criticized
Everybody
as
got injured,
regards
bro.
whether or not he can
That
actually
was like the
carry
Lakers,
team
bro.
to the
Everybody getting
title,
injured,
considering
bro.
how the Bucks crashed out of the playoffs in a terrible fashion in the past 2 seasons. While the Bucks' losses were not exactly all his fault, those questions were fair, and they continued even at times in this series, and they will most likely continue until he lifts the trophy. Giannis deserves all the praise for his performance here as he stepped up in a major way to make sure that he and his teammates went into the finals.
If
It
they
was just
win,
the
bro, I
second
still ain't
time
gonna
in
give,
his
like,
career
the
that
full
he scored
congratulations
40
to
or more
trophy
in a
because
playoff game. And in the
everybody was
process,
injured,
Giannis
bruh.
wrote himself in the history books by becoming only the 5th player in NBA history to put up at least 40 points and 10 rebounds in a Game 7. But the most important part in this game was when the Greek Freak tied the game with just 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining in overtime. With just about 4 minutes into the extra frame, the Bucks had not scored and were holding on for their dear lives, and then Giannis came to save the day, making a big play they needed as he took Durant into the post and dropped a little hook shot in over the
Damn.
top. Another player that stood out is, of course, KD. After losing the game and even coming close to seeing the game out all by himself, only to fall inches short, Kevin Durant was still the star of the game. In Game 5, Kevin delivered one of the best playoff performances of all time to give them a 3-2 series lead. Funny enough, KD
But it was
almost
nice
matched
that
that
nigga
effort
went
again
for
in Game
50, but
7,
damn,
but it just
man.
wasn't quite enough. Sorry, Kevin. It was the second time in 3 games that KD played every single minute. It's a miracle enough that Durant was coming back from a torn Achilles, that many basketball players spend an entire season on sidelines for, or never return the same player. But KD didn't look like he's had any
That
injury.
nigga fought,
Add the
though. I
fact
ain't
that the
gonna
man
cap.
was responsible for generating everything the Nets
that
did
nigga
in
put his
terms of
all in that
offense,
motherfucker,
and you
bruh.
just can't question how incredibly good he was in this game. Kevin scored a Game 7 record of
I give
48
credit where credit
points
due.
in what is probably the greatest Game 7 performance NBA has ever seen. Even Giannis couldn't help but heap praise on KD for his performance, saying this about the man who didn't sit at all during his 54 minutes. "I said it a couple of days ago, he's the best player in the world. He's still the best player in the world. It wasn't only Giannis that appeared impressed.
Damn.
Marco Bellinelli also shared Giannis's thoughts and called KD the best in the world. At KD Trey 5, the best in the world, period. The major highlight of the game is obviously Kevin Durant's amazing moment when he forced the game to the extra session with a step-back, turnaround fading 23-footer just inside the three-point arc with 1.6 seconds left in regulation over PJ Tucker.
Damn, bruh.
Unfortunately for KD, his toe was on the line. A few inches back and it would have been the Nets, not the Bucks, going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Tucker himself was lost for words when he spoke about that shot. That was, honestly, I just wanted to make sure he didn't shoot a three. Then when I cut him off, I thought he would go like 1 foot, step back, and when he spinned, that threw me off. That shot was incredible. I don't think people really appreciated the level of difficulty of that shot. Like, it was incredible. I laughed. I actually just laughed after he made it because it was incredible. Middleton also had this to say.
What does? They didn't win. Fuck.
I seen that shot go out. I seen it before against me. But a couple of said,
that nigga like cracking, ain't no cap, man.
Follow it too. But once he hits that shot, we got to forget about it. It's still ball game left. That wasn't the game.
Speaking of KD's feet, Kevin said, "My big-ass foot stepped on the line. I just saw how close I was to ending their season with that shot. It wasn't in God's plan, and we move on." Even The Athletic couldn't help but take a dig at Kevin's big foot. Despite all of Kevin's brilliance, it's safe to say that it was what defined the Nets at the start of the season that eventually broke them, which is their record-breaking offense. Of course, their steady stream of injuries didn't help them at all, and they could very much argue it's the main reason they are not going to the finals.
James Harden,
Without Kyrie Irving and with James Harden not exactly himself, the Nets just didn't have enough to go through. Harden had 22 points, but 5 of 17 from the field, while the Nets did not have a single point off the bench. During the extra period, the Nets only scored 2 points. The Bucks, on the other hand, had only 4, but it was enough to see them through. That didn't stop the fans who enjoyed watching the Nets from talking about how they felt. One fan wrote, "The Nets really signed Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Blake Griffin just to lose to the Bucks?" The Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden combo was supposed to be the beginning of a super team that would help see the Bucks win their first championship, but it appears it's not going to turn out that way. One woman posted about how her husband won a bet by reportedly betting on the Nets to lose. That's $30 to buy a nice bottle of wine to celebrate with. This one is probably from a Bucks fan who most likely enjoyed watching the Nets lose, as he posted a picture of Giannis holding baby Kevin and baby James Harden. This one's pretty classic. I assume we're all waiting for Kevin to make this happen. Well, we don't think so too, Melissa. Even LeBron James couldn't hide his happiness about the loss after he reacted to a hilarious video featuring Thanasis, Giannis, and Middleton with a number of laughing emojis.
We made it, man. We did it. Everybody okay? Everybody all right?
It's also worth mentioning how Middleton and Holiday delivered when it mattered the most. Both players played some of their worst basketball of the postseason as the Bucks trailed at halftime. But in the fourth quarter, they came in the game to give the Bucks a combined 20 points from the field. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notifications button so you never miss another one of our videos. We'll see you next time, latest Hoops fans. Until then, keep shooting your shot.
Hey man, that was the end of the motherfucking video, man. We saw NBA players take shots or you know what I'm saying, talk about the Nets and the Bucks, man. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, 1,000. Wow. Nigga, that was the worst super team ever, bruh. That was the worst disappointment I ever seen in my life. They had Kyrie Irving, James Harden, they had Kevin Durant, they had Blake Griffin, they had LaMarcus Aldridge. End up losing everything. How? You had 5 superstars. Worst loss ever. The worst super team ever. The worst. That was just horrible, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to this video up. We'll be out this motherfucker. We'll put out more videos, man. Like and subscribe. We out this bitch. Deuces.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.